What would you do if the US government accidentally dropped a nuclear bomb on your backyard? Not a warning shot, not a drill, an actual nuclear bomb landing right behind your house while your kids were inside. Because that's exactly what happened to one family in South Carolina in 1958. And somehow, almost nobody talks about it. To understand how something this insane could happen, you need to picture what 1958 America felt like. The Cold War was in full swing. The Soviet Union had just launched Sputnik the year before, which basically told the world, hey, we can put things in space now, including nukes. The US was terrified. So the Air Force had a solution: keep nuclear-armed bombers in the sky at all times. The thinking was, if the Soviets launch first, our planes are already airborne and ready to retaliate. Sounds reasonable, right? Except it meant that at any given moment, there were B-47 bombers carrying live nuclear weapons flying over American towns, American farms, and American families, just going about their day with no idea. March 11, 1958. A B-47 Stratojet takes off from Hunter Air Force Base in Georgia on a routine training mission. On board, a Mark VI nuclear bomb. Now, the Air Force will later tell you the nuclear capsule wasn't fully inserted, which technically meant it couldn't go fully nuclear. But it still had hundreds of pounds of conventional explosive packed inside it. We'll come back to why that matters. The crew is running through their checklist mid-flight, somewhere over Florence County, South Carolina. The bombardier navigator reaches for a locking pin on the bomb, the thing that's supposed to keep the bomb in place. He grabs the wrong handle, the emergency release. The bomb bay doors fly open, and a 7,600-pound nuclear weapon drops out of the plane, over a neighborhood. Walter Gregg was a 38-year-old man living on a farm outside Mars Bluff, South Carolina. His wife, Effie, and their kids were home that afternoon. Their daughter and two nieces were actually playing in a playhouse in the backyard. The bomb missed them by about 200 feet. It hit the earth, and those hundreds of pounds of conventional explosives detonated on impact. The blast blew a crater 35 feet deep and 75 feet wide. It caved in part of the Gregg family's house. 6 members of the family were injured, none killed, somehow. The playhouse? Obliterated. The chickens? Gone. The garden? There is no garden anymore. There's a crater. The Air Force showed up, confirmed what had happened, and paid the Gregg family $54,000 in damages, which, adjusted for today, is about $570,000, for dropping a nuclear bomb on your house. You could argue they got a deal. Here's the thing that makes all of this even wilder. This wasn't even the first time that year. Just 1 month earlier, on February 5, 1958, another B-47 was on a training run off the coast of Savannah, Georgia. A fighter jet that was supposed to be simulating an attack on the bomber actually collided with it. In the dark, at 38,000 feet. The bomber was badly damaged. The pilot, Colonel Howard Richardson, was trying to make an emergency landing, but he was terrified the bomb would break free during the landing and detonate. So he made the call: jettison it into the ocean near Tybee Island. They dropped a hydrogen bomb into the Atlantic Ocean. A bomb later described in congressional testimony as a complete weapon with a nuclear capsule, capable of a 3.8 megaton explosion. That's roughly 190 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Nagasaki. The Navy searched for weeks. 100 divers, cable sweeps, sonar. Nothing. They called off the search in April 1958 and officially declared it irretrievably lost. That bomb is still out there. Right now, somewhere in the mud off the coast of Georgia, sitting under 5 to 15 feet of silt. And to this day, the government's official position is basically, it's fine, don't worry about it. So in the span of about 30 days in early 1958, the United States Air Force dropped 2 nuclear weapons, one on a family's farm in South Carolina, and one into the ocean where it has never been recovered. The Cold War era had at least a dozen incidents like this: unplanned drops, mid-air collisions, crashes with nukes on board. The U.S. reportedly still has 6 nuclear weapons that are simply missing. And Walter Gregg? He rebuilt his house, planted a new garden, and lived there for the rest of his life. Sometimes he'd give tours of the crater to curious visitors. Just a normal guy, living next to the hole where the government dropped a nuclear bomb on him. If you found this wild, hit subscribe, because honestly, history is full of stories like this, and we're just getting started.